The story begins with a boy waking up in a strange room he has never seen before. As his vision clears, he notices a beautiful woman leaning over him. At first, he assumes she must be his mother, but something feels off. His real mother should be much older than this. When he looks at his hands, the truth hits him hard. They are tiny. He's not just young, he's a baby. As if that shock isn't enough, a status screen suddenly appears in front of him. His level has dropped back to 1, all his stats are terrible, and he doesn't even have a name anymore. So yes, he has officially been reincarnated, and the tutorial did not explain anything. Soon after, a tall man wearing armor enters the room. The woman immediately bows and addresses him as Your Majesty. Watching this, the boy realizes he's not in a normal household. This man is clearly the ruler of this land, possibly even an emperor. Not long later, the baby is taken to a priest for a naming ceremony. During the ritual, he is given the name Noah Ararat and officially declared the 13th imperial prince. When Noah checks his status again, the title confirms it. He is the direct son of the emperor himself. From nameless baby to royal prince in one ceremony. That's one way to speedrun life. Afterward, the emperor asks Noah's magic affinity. The priest answers that it is water, and Noah is assigned the fief of Almeria, a land where many water clan people live. Everything seems normal, until the priest checks Noah's full stats. At that moment, the entire room freezes. Every single stat is absurdly high, and his water affinity has already reached SS rank, despite being only hours old. That means Noah has already awakened, something that should be impossible at his age. The people present realize they are witnessing the birth of a once-in-a-generation genius. That's when Noah fully understands his situation. He has been reincarnated into a powerful empire as a noble. The story then explains the setting. The empire is a mighty warrior nation surrounded by rugged mountains, currently enjoying a golden age of wealth and prosperity. The emperor has more than 10 sons, known as the imperial princes, all adored by the people as the highest nobles in the land. 6 years pass, and Noah grows into a calm, composed young prince. During this time, he discovers the true nature of his power. To others, his stats appear insanely high, but in reality, those stats are boosted by his subordinates. His S-rank water ability comes from Almeria itself, and many of his other bonuses come from the maids serving him. In short, the more people loyal to him, the stronger he becomes. On top of that, Noah suspects his level has no upper limit. It might be infinite. Basically, this system rewards him for building a following, like an RPG where charisma is broken. After getting dressed, Noah goes downstairs and the maids quietly admire how different he is. Unlike other boys his age, he's calm, polite, and far too mature. Evelyn, a maid specializing in hospitality, informs Noah that the crown prince and the fourth prince have come to visit. She even says they told him to take his time eating. But Noah knows better. Keeping the crown prince waiting is a great way to die early, so he immediately goes to greet them. He meets his older brothers, Albert, the crown prince, and Henry, the fourth prince. After some polite exchanges, Albert reveals they brought Noah a gift. A terrified servant enters carrying a sword case, and the moment it's opened, a dark aura fills the room. Noah hears the desperate screams of soldiers begging for their lives. This sword is clearly bad news. Albert tells Noah to pick it up. Refusing isn't an option, so Noah carefully lifts the blade. Though heavy at first, he manages to hold it without collapsing. Albert then explains the sword's identity. It is Leviathan, the strongest water magic sword in the Empire. Around 120 people have died trying to wield it. Henry calmly explains that anyone unworthy dies the moment they touch it. Since Noah survived, that alone proves his compatibility. Albert calls this a valuable demonstration and leaves, casually using a cursed weapon as a test. Noah, internally, is furious, but wisely keeps his mouth shut. Saying the wrong thing here would get him executed faster than the sword could manage. Later, Henry questions Albert's decision to leave such a dangerous weapon with Noah. Albert simply replies that because Noah is so talented, he needs to learn what it feels like to be bitten by his own pet. Clearly, the imperial family has trust issues. That night, Noah notices his personal maid Zoe acting uneasy. After some insistence, she reveals that her hometown was destroyed by flooding, her mother lost everything, and relatives suggested Zoe sell herself in the red light district using her connection to the prince. Noah shuts that idea down instantly. Instead, he offers Zoe's mother a job at the mansion, a generous salary, and even a house to live in. Zoe breaks down in tears, overwhelmed by his kindness. Of course, Noah also understands the reality. Allowing a former servant to fall that far would stain his reputation. Loyalty and image both matter. And after this, Zoe's loyalty is absolute. Next, Noah orders his butler Dylan to buy as much land as possible in Zoe's flooded hometown, Dasso. He predicts criminals will soon exploit the chaos. Dylan is shocked by Noah's foresight, unaware that Noah has already lived through similar disasters in his previous life. The problem is funding. The land will cost hundreds of thousands of rein. After thinking it through, Noah decides to sell land gifted to him by the emperor himself. Though risky, he accepts full responsibility, stating that nobles must sometimes sacrifice themselves for the people. Dylan, who also comes from that region, is deeply moved. Soon after, Noah travels to Dasso to inspect the area. The destruction is severe. While surveying, he notices food distribution happening, but the food is barely edible. The local official, Lord Geralt, arrives and openly ignores the suffering, clearly pocketing the funds. Noah confronts him directly. Geralt mocks him and draws his sword. At that moment, Leviathan moves on its own and tests Noah, flooding him with power. Noah barely endures it, but through sheer will he earns the sword's recognition. Geralt attacks, and Noah strikes first, killing him instantly. When the lackeys threaten retaliation, Noah slams Leviathan into the ground, creating a massive crater. Message received. The night captain, Rowan, arrives, recognizes Noah, and kneels. Noah orders the corrupt officials punished and food distribution fixed properly. The villagers celebrate him as their savior. Later, the emperor summons Noah. Instead of punishment, he praises him for preventing further disaster. Noah's stats are checked once more, and his water affinity has risen to SSS rank. Impressed, the emperor asks Noah to continue serving the empire. Noah accepts.
The next day, Noah visits Rady Street, the most lively part of the capital. This place is famous for food, crowds, and street performers, and Noah is here for one reason: a popular singer everyone keeps talking about. He quietly enters a small diner, finds an empty seat, and observes the atmosphere like a tiny emperor doing a secret inspection. Soon, a pink-haired girl steps forward and begins to sing. Noah immediately recognizes her as Alici. Her voice isn't bad at all, but her technique still needs work. Even so, Noah can tell she's not singing for fun or fame. She's singing to survive, putting her heart into every note. Just when the mood settles, three rough-looking men burst into the diner and ruin everything. They start yelling at Alici, demanding she pay off her parents' debt. When she says she doesn't have the money, they begin suggesting other ways for her to repay it. The whole diner freezes, and no one dares to interfere. That's when Noah calmly stands up. In a quiet but firm voice, he reminds them that imperial law forbids forcing children to inherit their parents' debts. The men laughed, thinking he's just a clueless rich kid. Big mistake. One of them grabs Noah, and in the next moment, Noah releases the pressure of the Leviathan sword. The air itself feels heavy. The ends instantly panic, realizing they just picked a fight with something far beyond them. They run away like their lives depend on it, because they do. Once things calm down, Noah gently talks to Alici and asks about her monthly expenses. She explains that most of her money goes toward her mother's medical treatment. Without hesitation, Noah tells her he'll pay her 25 rein every month so she can focus on singing. And if she improves, her pay will increase too. Alici is overwhelmed and promises she'll never waste this chance. Later that evening, Noah returns home and finds the same three men kneeling outside the palace gate, begging for forgiveness. Clearly, they've finally realized who he is. Noah doesn't even bother meeting them and orders the maids to send them away. Royalty is not customer service. His brother Henry later agreed with that decision and praised his judgment. Noah explains that as long as those men remain scared of him, Alici will never be in danger. Henry is genuinely impressed. For someone so young, Noah thinks several steps ahead. Their conversation shifts to the Leviathan sword. Noah proves he has mastered it by making it appear from his sleeve, shocking Henry completely. The sword has a will of its own, and it taught Noah how to control it. At this point, Henry is probably wondering if Noah is even human. That night, Noah attends a royal gathering. When the nobles notice Leviathan at his waist, the entire hall buzzes with shock. Some even think it's fake, until Noah releases a fraction of its power. 1 second later, everyone feels like they almost died. Message received. During the event, Noah meets Byron Allen and his daughter Cindy. With just a glance, Noah deduces that Cindy is adopted and was once a slave. Byron is stunned, but admits it's true. Noah smiles, genuinely happy to hear a story where someone's life changed for the better, and invites them to visit his mansion someday. The next day, Noah runs into his brother Oscar, the 8th prince. Oscar invites him on a casual treasure hunt at Cobalt Street, a place famous for antiques and even more famous for fakes. After finding nothing all day, Noah randomly buys a cheap book. Turns out, it's the legendary Grimoire of Andrea. The only reason Noah bought it was because it boosted his wind stat when he touched it. When the sealed soul inside the book awakens, Oscar panics, but Noah doesn't run. He swings Leviathan once and erases the threat completely. As a result, his wind skill jumps to SS rank like it's no big deal. Soon after, a merchant named Allen shows Noah a strange ring that never reacts to anyone. The moment Noah wears it, the ring recognizes him as owner and transforms into powerful armor. Immediately, Oscar buys it for Noah as a gift, because at this point, why not? Later, one of the thugs from earlier attacks Noah again, but the armor automatically activates and blocks the strike. Oscar realizes Noah is already mastering the armor too. This kid collects legendary items like snacks. That night, Noah returns to the diner to hear Alici sing. 2 drunk men start harassing her, and Noah instantly sends them flying out, literally, using Leviathan. Then he buys the entire diner for 1,000 rein so Alici can sing safely. When Alici asks how she can repay him, Noah simply tells her to keep singing. That's all he wants. And as her voice fills the diner once more, Noah knows he made the right choice.
As time passes, and one day, Noah receives a visit from Dead Marley, the general governor of Holjoy, which is one of Noah's fiefs. In the Empire, princes are given fiefs so they can learn how to rule, and being called a lord makes the local people see them as true masters. Dead Marley explains that Holjoy is a fertile land located along a large river. While this brings good harvests, it also causes frequent flooding. He was ordered by the Empire to control these floods, but the project has failed because the necessary funds were never delivered. Even though it was an imperial order, the Ministry of Finance kept making excuses instead of sending the money. Realizing what is really going on, Noah immediately heads to the mansion of the finance commissioner, Maverick, who is calmly enjoying a steak while meeting an imperial prince. Noah cuts straight to the point and warns Maverick not to dismiss him just because he is a child. This instantly puts pressure on the commissioner. Maverick claims that Emperor Ararat exempted Holjoy from taxes due to the flooding, which supposedly caused a lack of funds. Noah quickly points out that tax exemption is an act of kindness, not a reason to abandon a suffering fief. Cornered, Maverick changes his excuse again and says the treasury is busy funding a summer resort for the emperor. Hearing this, Noah loses his patience and accuses Maverick of disrespecting Holjoy by prioritizing vacations over people's lives. When Noah threatens to report everything directly to the emperor, Maverick panics, kneels, and begs for forgiveness. Noah agrees to let it go on one condition: the budget must be sent immediately. As Maverick rushes to comply, Dead Marley leaves deeply impressed by how a 6-year-old prince forced a high-ranking official to his knees. Soon after, Noah is summoned by Emperor Ararat, who praises him for resolving the Holjoy crisis. Noah is surprised that his father already knows everything, and the emperor explains that information itself is a weapon. He tells Noah that doing what is natural is actually very difficult and expresses pride in his son.
At that moment, the emperor notices that the sword Leviathan has adjusted its size to fit Noah's height. Impressed by Noah's control over such a dangerous weapon, the emperor decides it is time to assign him a proper instructor. He summons Damian Noble, the greatest swordsman in the empire. Damian asks to test Noah in a duel to measure his talent. Once allowed, Noah charges forward, feeling Leviathan's memories of its former masters. After a brief exchange, Noah shocks everyone by disarming Damian. Acknowledging the boy's mastery, Damian kneels and declares that he has nothing left to teach him. Laughing, the emperor appoints Noah as the chief examiner for this year's knight selection. This major event gathers warriors from across the empire, and the winners earn noble status. Noah announces a major change. He eliminates regional qualifiers and orders all candidates to fight directly in the capital so no talent is overlooked. Back at his mansion, Noah speaks with Zoe and learns that villagers often struggle to send representatives due to travel and lodging costs. Wanting to remove this obstacle, Noah decides to cover all expenses himself. He orders Dylan to buy vacant houses, build dormitories if needed, and arrange food supplies through merchants. While negotiating with merchant Byron Allen, Noah quickly sees through a fake discount and asserts his authority. He allows Byron to place Noah's crest on his shop, warning him that betrayal will never be forgiven. Noah reflects that gaining loyal subordinates is another step toward becoming stronger. Suddenly, Noah notices his water rank has dropped, meaning something is wrong in Almeria. He rushes to meet the emperor, who reveals that a rebellion involving about 5,000 people has broken out. Noah analyzes the situation and recommends that his brother Henry handle the suppression, believing it requires an experienced commander. While traveling together, Noah senses danger and orders the carriage to stop. Rebel soldiers surround him, but Noah calmly defeats them using Leviathan, leaving them unconscious. He later explains that killing them would be pointless as they would rather die than talk. Realizing the rebels heavily rely on cavalry despite Almeria's weak horse production, Noah summons Byron Allen once more. He gives him money and orders him to buy all horse feed in the region, intentionally cutting the rebels' supply line. Understanding the strategy, Byron immediately sets the plan in motion.
Noah receiving a message from his father, the emperor, he confirms that the captured rebels admitted they were planning to kidnap Noah and use him as a bargaining tool. Hearing this, Noah calmly warns his father that if the confession came too quickly, there is a chance they might be lying. The emperor praises Noah's sharp thinking and tells him not to worry. He explains that the empire has reliable methods to determine whether someone is telling the truth. Noah decides not to think too deeply about what those methods might be and simply trusts his father. The emperor then congratulates Noah once again for not getting captured. He says that if Noah had been taken, the entire empire would have faced serious trouble. He also mentions the forage strategy and praises Noah for noticing it. Noah is shocked because he had only just given that order moments ago. This makes him realize once again how terrifyingly fast the emperor's information network really is. The emperor explains that many people would have chosen a full starvation siege, including Noah's brother Albert, who suggested letting the rebels die of hunger. However, Noah realized that this would only cause the rebels to loot nearby villages. Instead, Noah cut off only the horse feed, weakening the cavalry while protecting civilians, and he did it using his own money. The emperor praises this as a simple yet rare decision that shows true leadership. Because of this achievement, the emperor decides to reward Noah. He grants him permission to add a sword to his coat of arms. In this empire of warriors, using that symbol without permission is a serious crime, sometimes even punishable by death. Receiving it directly from the emperor is one of the highest honors possible, making this a massive recognition for Noah. Later, Noah meets with Allen again. Allen reports that the forage operation is complete and also brings information about Siphon, the leader of the rebels. He describes him as a deeply resentful man who would do anything to achieve his goals. Noah thanks him and warns everyone to stay cautious. At that moment, Evely arrives with urgent news. A badly injured man has appeared at the gate claiming to have important information. He turns out to be a captain from the Adora district in Armelia.
The man explains that his superior rebelled, but he refused to join and instead risked his life to report the uprising. Although Noah already knows about the rebellion, he still thanks the captain and orders Evely to take care of him. He even rewards the man with 1,000 rines, surprising Alan. When Alan questions this, Noah explains that even if the information is outdated, risking one's life to deliver a warning deserves respect and reward. Later, Zoe comes to visit Noah. She's clearly shaken and nervous. Noah notices immediately and asks what is wrong. Then Zoe hands him a bag containing 500 saurians. She explains that a stranger offered her this money if she could get Noah to drink an elixir. The elixir turns out to be a sleeping drug meant to knock Noah unconscious so he could be handed over to the rebels. Noah finds it almost amusing that they want him so badly. Then he asks Zoe why she brought it to him instead of using it. Through tears, Zoe explains that she could never betray him. Noah has helped her, her mother, and her village too much. Even though she was threatened with death, she still refused. Moved by her loyalty, Noah rewards her. Since they tried to buy her betrayal for 500 rines, Noah adds an extra 0 to the amount. Zoe hesitates, but Noah insists. Then he tells her what he needs her to do next, make her give him the elixir anyway. Confused and worried, Zoe listens as Noah explains his plan. A few hours later, Noah pretends to be unconscious. Voices can be heard around him, with some of the kidnappers joking that killing him would be easier, though they decide it is a last resort. Noah calmly analyzes his situation. He's tied up inside a carriage, but Leviathan is hidden in his ear, and they didn't take his ring. Escaping will be easy. Using Leviathan, Noah understands what happened. Zoe knocked him out as planned. The kidnappers appeared, failed to catch her, and took Noah instead. The kidnappers underestimate him, thinking his brother saved him last time because Noah allowed that credit to remain. Noah attacks without hesitation, quickly taking one of them down. The others draw their weapons, but Noah feels disappointed. They are all insignificant, with no valuable information to extract. He knocks the rest out with ease. Suddenly, Zoe appears again, having returned with soldiers because she was too worried to hide. The soldiers secure the captives, but something strange happens. When one man is lifted, a short sword falls to the ground. Noah immediately orders everyone to back away. He senses intense bloodlust from the blade, filled with the hatred of its creator. Noah challenges Leviathan, teasing that this should be easy for such a legendary sword. Leviathan responds, releasing a massive water-based attack that travels across a great distance and kills the sword's creator instantly. Soon after, Noah meets his father again. Reports confirm that the rebel leader died suddenly, pierced by a mysterious column of water. The emperor already suspects Noah and asks if he used Leviathan. Noah admits that he used the resentment inside the cursed sword as a signal and eliminated the target with a long-range strike. With their leader gone, the Armelia rebellion collapses instantly. Noah's brother Henry suppresses the remaining rebels, and most instigators are captured. Furious, the emperor orders that oxen and horses be prepared, declaring that he will personally execute the entire clan. At this moment, Noah steps forward and kneels, openly opposing his father in front of the nobles. He explains that punishment must follow imperial law. While the death penalty applies to the leader, accomplices and relatives must be punished according to their level of involvement. Dismemberment, he points out, is not written anywhere in the law. The emperor is angry, but realizes he's right. Violating the law would damage public order. After a tense silence, he accepts Noah's correction and decides to apply the maximum legal punishment without reduction. The nobles are stunned, impressed by Noah's courage and justice. The emperor thanks Noah, saying his name will not be stained in history thanks to this advice. He then grants Noah a new title, praising his wisdom and officially naming him the Wise Prince. Noah's status changes, and the crowd begins cheering his name. Later, Noah demonstrates his plan for the night selection. While calmly drinking tea, attendants pour water at him from all sides, yet not a single drop touches him thanks to his automatic defense. Noah explains that he will allow candidates to attack him directly and judge them based on the pressure they apply. The emperor calls it a brilliant but risky idea. Noah accepts the risk, determined to proceed. emperor reflecting on Leviathan's terrifying power and mentioning an old legend about never breaking its true seal, hinting at greater danger ahead. The day of the night selection exam finally arrives. People from every corner of the empire gather to watch, even commoners from distant regions. This year's crowd is much bigger than usual, all because of one reason. The judge is Noah, the wise prince. Everyone wants to see his power with their own eyes. The exam begins, and Noah calmly sits on stage, sipping tea like this is just another relaxing afternoon. Suddenly, one candidate rushes forward and attacks him. But before the sword can even reach Noah, his defense ring activates, creating a powerful shield. The attack is completely blocked. The candidate keeps swinging, trying again and again, but the shield does not even crack. The crowd quickly realizes that this calm child is on a completely different level. From above, the emperor watches everything and admits that this year's exam is far more interesting than the last. Still, he reminds himself that the real goal is to choose worthy knights, so he waits to see who Noah will approve. As the day goes on, another candidate uses all his magic to launch a massive fire attack at Noah. Noah simply raises a barrier, blocking the heat entirely. The candidate runs out of mana and collapses. Seeing this, Noah admits that none of the candidates so far have truly impressed him. The final candidate of the day steps forward, a blonde girl. She attacks, and as expected, the shield appears. But this time, something unexpected happens. Using pure strength, she breaks through the shield and lightly wounds Noah. The guards immediately restrain her, but Noah tells them to stop. He asks her name. She introduces herself as Shirley Grant. To everyone's shock, Noah announces that she has passed the exam, the first one all day. The guards are stunned, but the crowd begins praising Noah for his fairness. Later, Noah brings Shirley to his mansion. She kneels nervously, afraid she will be punished for injuring him. Noah reassures her and asks her to attack him again just like before. Though confused, Shirley obeys. This time, Noah blocks the attack completely. He explains that he could have done this earlier, but chose not to. He wanted to see if she would follow orders without fear. A knight who hesitates is not someone he needs. Shirley attacked him seriously both times, proving her courage and resolve. Deeply moved, Shirley kneels and pledges her loyalty to Noah. At that moment, Noah noticed his stats increase, showing the benefit of gaining a true subordinate. Soon after, Zoe arrives with a doctor named Croy, who examines Noah and confirms that the wound is minor. Shirley watches closely. Noah notices and asks her about it, and she explains that her village has no doctors. Realizing this is a serious problem, Noah decides to train doctors through apprenticeships. He asks Shirley to choose capable people from her village and promises to cover all expenses. Shirley thanks him deeply. The next morning, Shirley walks through the mansion and overhears maids gossiping about Noah's future marriage. Zoe quickly shuts the conversation down, reminding them that Noah is only 6 years old. Another maid then teases Zoe, hinting that she might like Noah and that this is why she has started learning magic. Zoe denies it, saying she just wants to be useful to him, and walks away flustered, leaving Shirley impressed. After the night selection ends, Noah receives praise for choosing only the best candidates. To celebrate, he hosts a small party and invites his old friend Alachi to perform. He also invites Byron, giving him a chance to connect with royal merchants. During the party, Noah receives a mysterious letter with no sender. After confirming it is safe using Leviathan, he reads it and learns that remnants of the Almrian rebels are moving again. He realizes the sender is likely the loyal soldier who warned him earlier. Unfortunately, by the next day, that soldier is exposed and tortured, though rescued in time by Henry's unit. Noah blames himself and orders that no expense be spared to save the soldier. Later, Noah goes shopping with Shirley to buy a gift for his brother Henry. In an antique shop, Noah finds a rare glass sculpture made by a famous artisan. Just then, his brother Oscar arrives and reveals he owns the only other one. Without hesitation, Noah destroys the sculpture, shocking everyone. He explains that this will increase the value of Oscar's piece. Oscar immediately understands and praises Noah's sharp thinking. Outside, Shirley questions him about destroying such a treasure. Noah tells her that objects are not real treasures. People are. Loyal people who dedicate themselves fully are what truly matter. Hearing this, Shirley vows to serve him for life. 6 years pass. Noah is now 12 years old, standing taller and preparing to head out on a new journey, watched by the servants of the palace.
Prince Noah is now 12 years old, and his birthday celebrations are so grand that people have been bringing him gifts for 3 days straight. Last year, it even lasted an entire week. Noah explains that every gift and the name of its sender must be carefully recorded, which takes a lot of time. He calmly leaves the work to his maid, Evelyn, and assigns Gigi to help her. It is then revealed that Noah has completely mastered the magic sword, Leviathan. By direct imperial order, he is stationed at the Ministry of Military Affairs, which controls the imperial army. When Noah arrives, he meets the minister in charge, who turns out to be his older brother, Henry, the fourth prince. Henry explains that there is a rebellion at the southern border and that one of his subordinates, Reincarnated, has been ordered to lead an army to suppress it. Henry asks for Noah's opinion. Noah listens quietly and then asks a simple but sharp question. How many soldiers are actually going to be sent? Rice hesitates, and Henry immediately realizes something is wrong. Under pressure, Rice admits that the official number of soldiers is exaggerated. Noah calmly explains that this practice is common, since generals often register merchants or civilians as soldiers to receive extra funding. However, this time is different because the emperor wants a decisive victory. Noah orders Rice to make sure he can truly supply the number he claimed. Noah even writes a note to the ministry, arranging funds for 2,000 additional soldiers. He allows Rice to keep the extra money, but makes one thing clear in return: failure will not be tolerated. Henry is impressed by how skillfully Noah uses both reward and threat. As they talk, Henry asks if Noah has ever experienced real war. Noah admits he has not. Because of imperial rules, princes are usually not allowed to go to battle until adulthood unless the emperor gives permission. Later, while walking through the city, Noah suddenly hears children screaming for help. He sees illegal slave traders trying to abduct them. Noah steps in and calmly questions the men, asking for their registration papers. When they cannot provide any, they grow violent and attack him. In a flash, Noah defeats them with his sword skills, shocking everyone around him. The children revealed that these men planned to sell them. Just then, the leader smugly claims that he works for Gilbert, the first prince, hoping that name will scare Noah away. Noah stays calm. He asks his brother Henry if he knows this man. Henry clearly says no. Using this, Noah declares that the criminals were lying about serving the first prince. He orders them arrested and sent to Gilbert's estate, forcing the first prince to deal with them himself. This way, Noah protects the empire's law and avoids causing political chaos. Afterwards, Noah takes the rescued children to his mansion. A message later arrives from the first prince, claiming the criminals committed suicide during interrogation. Noah understands the truth, but chooses not to pursue it further. Then, Noah decides the children cannot return home, since many were sold by desperate or irresponsible parents. He offers them shelter, work, and education under his protection. He makes one thing clear: they are free, but betrayal will never be forgiven. Grateful, the children thanked him. Back at the mansion, Noah calls Evelyn and surprises her by appointing her as an administrator of a region within his territory. Though she wants to stay as his maid, Noah encourages her to grow and use her talents properly. After emotional hesitation, Evelyn accepts. Later, during an imperial meeting, the topic of underground slave trading comes up. Noah calmly explains the law and corrects a mistake made during the discussion. This impresses everyone, including the emperor himself.
Seeing Noah's strict sense of justice and deep understanding of the law, the emperor makes a shocking decision. In front of everyone, Noah Ararat is appointed as the new minister of justice. The court erupts in celebration as Noah becomes one of the youngest and most powerful ministers in the empire. As Noah reflects on how simply answering honestly led to such a huge promotion, he wonders what hidden intentions may exist behind this decision. Meanwhile, dark clouds begin to gather over the empire, hinting that even greater challenges are approaching.
Noah officially begins his duties as the Minister of Justice and is introduced to his Vice Minister, Vinny Ossi. Wanting to understand the ministry, Noah asks Vinny to explain his role. Vinny explains that the ministry oversees courts across the empire and handles serious crimes like insurrection. Noah suddenly asks how much Vinny takes in bribes. Though shocked, Vinny admits he accepts small bribes only in cases that could go either way, never in murder cases. Noah offers him 5,000 rein to stop taking bribes completely. Impressed by Noah's resolve, Vinny refuses the money and promises loyalty, which Noah confirms through his rising stats. That night, Oscar hosts a celebration for Noah. Noah questions why the emperor appointed him, suspecting a deeper plan. When Oscar learns he will soon become Minister of Finance, it confirms that the emperor is preparing multiple princes for greater roles. Soon after, 167 people are arrested for plotting to place Crown Prince Albert on the throne. Although Albert is not named, Noah realizes the suspects are all connected to him. To prevent chaos, Noah orders the immediate execution of all arrested conspirators, following the emperor's intent while protecting imperial stability. The emperor praises Noah's judgment. Later, Noah's mansion is attacked by assassins linked to Albert's faction. Noah defeats them and deliberately wounds himself so they can be lawfully executed for attacking a prince. This prevents further political fallout. The next day, Noah meets the emperor and proposes creating a new role, Prime Minister Prince, and giving it to Albert. The position offers status, but no real power, keeping the empire stable. The emperor accepts the idea and rewards Noah by allowing him to choose an item from the imperial vault. Guided by the Leviathan sword, Noah selects a mysterious box which erupts in flames when opened. Noah continues testing the new magic item, Luthier, and quickly realizes it has a will of its own, just like Leviathan. He calmly orders it to obey, successfully taming it in seconds. Even his companions are surprised at how easily he handles such a powerful item. To test its power, Noah makes Leviathan and Luthier fight each other. Leviathan proves slightly stronger, but it carefully controls the flames so no one gets hurt. Seeing Noah's control, the emperor formally entrusts Luthier to him, asking him to use its power for the good of the empire. Later, Noah discusses imperial law with the emperor regarding a serious crime committed by his cousin. Although the boy's father offers a massive fine, Noah explains that imperial law does not allow parents to pay for their children's crimes. When the emperor considers legalizing voluntary fines to fix the empire's poor finances, Noah warns that this would allow the rich to buy their way out of murder, leading to corruption. Impressed by his reasoning, the emperor appoints Noah as his chief advisor. Noah then proposes a smarter solution. Instead of paying to avoid punishment, wealthy citizens could donate money to earn honorary titles, like honorary knighthood. The emperor immediately recognized the value of this idea and ordered it to be implemented. On his way home, Noah experiments further by making Leviathan and Luthier fight repeatedly. By observing their battles, he levels up without fighting himself, shocking Zoe. Noah realizes that repeated battles with the same opponent become less effective, meaning he'll need more magic items to grow stronger. Soon after, Prince Henry arrives and reveals that Noah's first military campaign is approaching. When Noah opens the monster nest box, it displays the number 1, meaning Noah alone is enough for the mission, something that has never happened before. Because of this, the emperor postpones the campaign, planning something even bigger. Later, Noah visits a shop to search for more sentient magic items. Although the merchant has nothing suitable, Noah leaves a huge advance payment, explaining that this is simply how nobles do business. Trouble breaks out when a noble named Dalem, a member of Prince Gilbert's household, intimidates a merchant.
Dalem arrogantly claims he is immune under imperial law. Noah calmly turns the tables by pointing out Dalem's disrespect toward a prince and orders his arrest. Dalem is punished publicly under imperial family law and eventually dies from the punishment. To prevent future political conflict, Noah personally visits Prince Gilbert in chains to apologize. Gilbert admits Dalem was already disowned and praises Noah for protecting his reputation. Noah later explains that apologizing first prevents retaliation among nobles. The next day, a man named Don Orts from the Ministry of the Imperial Household asks to serve under Noah, impressed by how he handled the incident. Noah accepts, but secretly orders an investigation into him. Next day, Dylan reporting that Don Orts is secretly connected to the first prince, Gilbert. Noah quickly realizes Don was sent as a spy. Instead of exposing him, Noah decides to keep this secret and use Don to his advantage. Dylan is surprised by Noah's quick judgment, but Noah already knows the truth in his mind. After accepting Don, his stats never increased, which made everything clear. Soon after, a merchant from the Bardsley store arrives with a rare item Noah requested. It turns out to be a cursed painting called Huwawa. Using Leviathan, Noah senses the curse and strikes the painting, breaking it and freeing a girl trapped inside. She reveals she was killed as a child and used to create the artwork. Noah asks her to swear loyalty, and when she agrees, his earth magic increases, proving her loyalty. Huwawa shows abilities like shape-shifting and partial intangibility, shocking the merchant. Next, Byron visits Noah and shares that Ada has been promoted to an imperial attendant. Noah explains the dangerous politics of the inner palace and warns that other consorts can be ruthless. Later, Zoe tells Noah about suspicious activity near the palace gates. That night, Don attempts an assassination, but the victim is revealed to be Huwawa in disguise. Noah orders Zoe and her mother to fake the death and leave town for safety. After being betrayed by his former allies, Don is rescued by Noah. Instead of punishment, Noah offers a second chance under strict loyalty. Don accepts, and Noah confirms his sincerity through his stats. Then, Don reveals that Gilbert gifted the Emperor a dangerous wine. Noah rushes to warn the Emperor, explaining that the wine becomes lethal when combined with a ritual dish. The Emperor stops the plot in time, arrests Gilbert, and later reveals he already knew about the scheme. Impressed, he appoints Noah as Vice Minister of Military Affairs and Governor-General of the Imperial Guard, entrusting him with the Empire's future. A short while later, the Emperor learning that Gilbert's mansion has been searched, hidden documents prove that he planned to poison and kill the Emperor. This confirms his treason. According to imperial law, the punishment is execution. Noah suggests treating it as attempted murder so the execution could be delayed, giving the Emperor time since Gilbert is still his son. However, Crown Prince Albert insists the traitor should be executed immediately, and the Emperor leaves the decision to him. The Emperor then praises Noah for his wisdom and even considers giving him Gilbert's territory as a reward. But Noah refuses, explaining that rewarding princes for exposing each other could cause them to sabotage one another. Instead, the Emperor brings up Noah's future marriage and suggests the granddaughter of the retired Lightning Prince. A prophecy says their child might become even more brilliant than Noah, and Noah calmly accepts the arrangement. Later, Noah meets a man who exposed Gilbert's betrayal. The man believes he will be executed, but Noah forgives him because imperial law protects those who reveal treason. Noah rewards him with money and allows him to serve in his household. Meanwhile, in the capital, a strong girl is challenging men to fights, saying she will serve anyone who defeats her. She easily beats many challengers, but one man cheats by using a partner to secretly poison her with a numbing drug. Noah exposes the trick and defeats the criminals when they attack him. The girl explains she came to the capital to become a knight, but failed the exam because the 10th prince demanded she become his woman in exchange for passing. Noah gives her money and a place to stay so she can try again next year. Soon after, the criminals return with a knight, but the knight recognizes Noah as the 13th prince and quickly apologizes. At that moment, an old man approaches Noah. He is the legendary lightning prince, Indra Ararat, who once ruled the empire as prince regent. He came to evaluate Noah since Noah is supposed to marry his granddaughter. The lightning prince tests Noah by releasing powerful pressure, but Noah calmly resists without harming him. Impressed, the lightning prince approves the marriage and gives Noah an engagement gift, a mysterious ring. When Noah uses the ring, he meets a powerful earth spirit named Behemoth, who immediately accepts him as its master. The lightning prince is shocked because even he couldn't control it. Noah then reveals that he already possesses several legendary powers: the water sword Leviathan, the fire ring Lutier, the wind painting Huwawa, and now the earth ring Behemoth. For the first time in 1,000 years, all 4 legendary powers are gathered by one person, and that person is the 13th prince, Noah. Noah watches the glowing light, confused about what is happening. Suddenly, he hears voices from the magic items. It surprises him because he has never heard them speak before, yet the voices feel strangely familiar. Leviathan says it has been a long time since all of them gathered together. Huwawa then comments that Leviathan seems to like Noah. A moment later, Noah returns to reality and wonders if it was all a dream. However, the villagers also heard the voices and believe it was a message from the heavens showing trust in Noah. Indra is impressed and suggests celebrating a moment. Noah orders Jiggy to give 10 rein to everyone present, making the villagers cheer with joy. Soon after, the girl Noah saved earlier kneels before him but refuses his help. She says she wants to become his knight through her own efforts. Noah rejects her request and explains that refusing help out of pride is foolish. True strength comes from accepting support. He tells her that if she wants to serve him, she only needs loyalty. Hearing this, she leaves with a smile. Just then, the emperor arrives, shocking everyone. After a brief exchange with Indra, he praises Noah. Noah then summons Luir and uses Leviathan's power to release a wave of energy, not to harm anyone, but to inspire awe and confirm there is no hidden danger. The emperor reveals that Noah will soon lead a military campaign alone, surprising everyone. Noah quickly understands the situation and prepares to act, impressing both the emperor and Indra with his awareness. Later, inside a carriage, the emperor tells Indra he plans to remove the crown prince, Albert, as heir due to the recent events. However, he has not yet decided on a new successor. Noah listens and suggests a clever solution, creating a hidden will engraved on a false tooth so it cannot be altered. The emperor praises the idea. Noah also advises that all military power should return directly to the emperor to prevent rebellion. Despite losing his own position, he still suggests it, and the emperor agrees. Inside the palace, a servant pretending to be illiterate is exposed by Noah. The man is executed, while Cruz receives a lighter punishment for negligence. Later, Noah visits Albert and informs him that he will accompany the emperor instead of ruling in his absence. Albert realizes something is wrong, but hides his anger. That night, Noah attends Alichi's performance as usual. Afterward, Zoe informs him of a visitor named Olivia. When she enters, she reveals shocking news. Albert is planning a coup that very night to seize the throne. Noah is shocked after hearing Olivia's warning, so he asks how she knows about the coup. Olivia reveals she was born and raised in Gilbert's household. After Gilbert's fall, she overheard Albert planning to take control of the palace by force before losing his title. She begs Noah to stop him. Noah agrees and, impressed by her loyalty, offers her a position in his household. She accepts. Noah quickly heads out alone, realizing Albert will use the army under the Ministry of Military Affairs. As expected, Albert is already rallying the soldiers, claiming the empire needs him as emperor. Just as they are about to move, Noah arrives and warns Albert to stop, but Albert refuses, saying he would rather fight than lose everything. Albert orders the soldiers to capture Noah. However, Noah easily defeats them without killing, using Leviathan to put them to sleep. Then, hearing a voice, Noah unlocks Lucier's true power by calling its name, Bahamut. A massive flaming entity appears, terrifying everyone. Noah stops it before it causes real harm. Noah confronts Albert and offers him a choice. Instead of killing him, he gives him poison and explains that if Albert dies by his own hand, his family and followers will be spared. But Albert refuses and orders the soldiers again. This time, the soldiers turn against him, saying they can no longer follow him after everything he has done. They force Albert to accept his fate. Olivia steps forward and gives him the poison. After struggling, Albert drinks it and dies, admitting his desire to become emperor. Afterward, Noah creates a story to protect everyone involved. Albert attempted a coup but was stopped by loyal subordinates, who will now be rewarded. Noah also suggests the next successor should come from Albert's line. Later, the emperor learns what happened and quietly praises Noah for handling the situation wisely. With both Gilbert and Albert gone, peace returns to the empire. 3 years later, Noah is nearing his 15th birthday and is loved by many. He continues training and grows stronger. Audrey, the Lightning Prince's granddaughter, officially becomes his wife. Meanwhile, the emperor is preparing to choose his successor, with Noah being one of the top candidates. Noah heads toward the coronation ceremony, where the next ruler of the empire will be decided. And that was Season 1 of Noble Reincarnation, Born Blessed So I'll Obtain Ultimate Power. Subscribe for more anime recaps like this one.